Now, let's see, did it turn on or did I turn it off? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. There's always problems in the morning. You know, you park this stuff at night and the gremlins come out. Well, the gremlins came out and they did a little bit of a nasty job to me. Yesterday, I started the tractor up. Let's get my little microphone on here because we just love the microphone, right? Because the microphone works so good. Did we run out of juice here? What do we got going on here? Ugh. You can watch me put the microphone on. Okay, so we put this thing to bed last night, and I get up this morning, and I'm going to show you. I got a puddle of oil right here. Let's see, right there. She's dripping. See it drip? You can put it in slow motion and see what it looks like when it drips. If you want, that's kind of cool. So I thought, well, simple logic. The filter must be having a problem, right? So I pulled that filter out of there, and I thought, well, okay. Change the filter. And it didn't do what I thought it would do. So the next logical thing is filter housing, right? But it's dripping above the filter housing. Well, last year sometime, I would start to get a code that it says stop, stop, stop. The pressure is no good. You got bad. Your oil pressure's low, but everything functioned okay. But you got a low oil pressure. So what do? Shoot. Got low oil pressure. What are you gonna do? Well, figured it was a sensor, and I'm almost certain that I bought the thing. I just never put it in. And now my retarded brain can't remember whether I bought it or not, or if I did, where did I put it? And I think there's a sensor in my truck. I'm pretty certain there is a sensor in my truck, and then there's a box over there that's got some sensors in it. And it's like, well, all right, I'm gonna catch that oil. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take the filter that I just put on back off again. And take that filter off of there so that I got some room to get some tools up in there, and I'm gonna pull that sensor out of there because that sensor is what is leaking. And I need this tractor today, yesterday, and every day after that. So, yeah. So that's what the deal is. I gotta figure out what the hell I'm gonna do if I don't have that sensor, which I'm pretty sure I have one. We'll see when I get it out of there. Now, I know my stupid mind, one of these sensors, I needed a plug off of it. So I cut it for a different tractor. I cut the plug. I cut the plug off of it and then just soldered it back onto something that was broken because I needed that particular plug. Hoping that that's not this. If it is, well, then I get to deal with that, which is not the end of the world per se. Let's see, we get you all up in there. Where's this thing? Can you see me? You can see my hand. There you go. So anyway, these are really, I liked it in the 7410. The 7410 had a filter here and then one on the back of the tractor. And I don't see one on the back of this tractor for some reason. Now this is all of a sudden going to start cascading down onto me like a normal mess would do. Now if I was on the back of the tractor, I'm pretty sure there's one on the back of this tractor, right? Yes, there is one on the back of the tractor, one on the front of the tractor. I changed that one, and I'm going to change the other one as well. As soon as I get this one off of here, let me grab a paper towel. People keep piling shit on top of shit, and that's not a good deal. So I get this paper towel here and we'll get that filter off of there, and then we're going to see if we can get that sensor off of there without too much trouble. Okay. The reason I'm using this paper towel is because I don't want this oil dripping down my arm before I get it off. And, you know, it's got a lot of threads on the thing. There it is. Now, there was nothing wrong with this oil. There's nothing wrong with this filter either. So what I'm going to do with this filter is I'm just going to prop it up against this tire over here so that all the naysayers and haters, or whatever you want to call these idiots that comment stupid shit every day of my life as I'm creating content for the enjoyment of others, and the critics are another story. Oh my gosh. So, yeah. All right, so that made it a little bit easier for me to get up in there, I think. And I will just, you know what sucks? Is I can't seem to, I'm gonna catch that oil there. See that? Clean that off so I don't have it dripping down all over me. And that thing is now in the way. That's a hose that was replaced. It was a pipe that became a hose. Sometimes you gotta do those things. And I have to figure out how in the hell I'm gonna get a wrench on that up there without pulling that filter housing off. And the filter housing has a, let me show you this here real quick. Oh, Jesus ain't got nothing to do with it, but hold on a second here. Let me do this. So you can see way up above that filter housing, there's a white wire. And that white wire is where the oil is coming out of that part of the thing. So I'm going to get some air and blow that dirt out of there. I'm not going to bore you with the details, and you'll probably see me in a minute with a face full of shit, because that's usually how these things go. All right. You can now see that I've blown it off. It actually worked pretty good. That's the other half of that fuel tank. But it's all wire tied up in there, which makes things a little more difficult than previously expected. Now, I could pull that filter housing off and risk breaking the gasket, which I don't want to do. Or I could possibly come in from the top, which is a bigger pain in the ass. Yeah. And you might think I'm whining and complaining, but there's no room up there. There's actually two sensors. There's one on top of the filter housing, and then there's the one that goes actually into the transmission case. It's the upper one that goes into the transmission case that I'm having the issue with. And I got to figure out how I'm going to get that wire tie cut off of there that I cannot see. That's going to be an issue. So I will have to look at that big time. All right. There it is. I'm going to get you over here to the workbench, and we will take a look at it. Okay, so above let me angle you up. I got my glasses on. There's the filter housing in the front of the transmission. This is the transmission filter. There are two of these, and this is the upper one, the one that isn't in the filter housing. This is the one that's above the filter housing. And if you look right here, I don't know if it's going to focus on that. Come on, focus, you fucker. Why won't that focus? Well, it doesn't want to focus, piece of shit. Doesn't want to focus, but you can see that there's bare wires there, and that's where the hydraulic oil is blowing through. So I'm going to see if I've got one of these. To get it off of there, I just cut the wires. I did that because sometimes you got to do things you don't really want to do to get things out easier, and I know that this is junk. Worst case scenario is I run a plug in there, or run a plug in there, run the tractor without it if they don't have this thing. Best case scenario is I have it. Middle case scenario is I have to run and get it. which isn't really the end of the world kind of a scenario. It's just one of these scenarios that I don't really want to be doing. I would rather have it on the shelf, and I'm pretty sure I have this thing. I'm pretty sure I do. If not, I'll make a phone call and I will get it in. But I'm going to go look in my truck first because I know I have sensor in there. We're in luck. We don't have it. I have sensors for newer tractors. I don't have them for the old guy in the group, you know, the 7810. That's what this is out of. So called Deer Country out in Allentown, and lo and behold, they actually have this sensor. They pulled it off the shelf for me. I will go and I'll be back in business because honestly, it needed to be changed anyway. It would just the tractor would get warm and this thing would stop functioning. So finally it stopped functioning enough that it blew oil, and now I know which one it was. So there you go. And I'll be back and we'll show you the repair. Alrighty then, I am back from Dear John. I will show you what I ended up with, which was more than I bargained for, but it is what it is. So this is the old one. I think I showed you this. And right here, right there, is the part number. So let me get my glasses on because we're going to see what the part number differences are. So the part number for this thing, it is an index pressure sensor, pressure switch, is RE69671. So that's this one. No good. This is brass. I'm actually going to scrap that. We'll melt it down and scrap it. There's copper in there, but we'll get it. This one here is the replacement. And you'll love this replacement because it cost $110 and it didn't even come with a new O-ring. So what I did was I took the O-ring off of this one and put it on this one, and hopefully it's okay. I was thinking about replacing it completely, but I didn't see any scratches or any marks, and it's quite pliable yet, so it's probably just fine. The nice thing about this one is I can take what looks to be a 1/2 inch wrench, and I can get that up in there a lot easier than I could this 1 3/16 inch socket that I had to cut the back of it off for. Now I have another one of these pressure switches. It looks identical to this, except it has different color lines, wires. And these wires are white, so these wires are white. Now, is it the same as the one that I already have? The only difference in the number is this is a 7-0, and the one that I have is a 7-8, but it's got the same plug, except it's a different color. So I've had that one for a long time, and I don't know if it's the right pressure. So each one of these things, that is a clutch pressure switch. I looked it up, it's a clutch pressure switch. This is a hydraulic pressure switch, so it probably is slightly different as to the amount of pressure that it takes to activate this thing. You know, and what it does, what it has been doing the last year or so, is I know that this switch was faulty. The old switch, this switch was faulty because when the tractor would get warm, it would tell me that there was no pressure. I knew there was pressure because everything worked, you know. Didn't do anything crazy other than flash on the screen, stop, stop, stop. No buzzer or anything, just stop, stop, stop. And it told me that it was oil pressure. So anyway, $110 for this thing. I could see 50 bucks. You know, but $110. And this one's plastic, where this one is brass. Well, this one's brass as well. Brass and plastic, but a lot less brass on this one. So this one is a more substantial one of those. But that's all right. I'll be all right. We'll put it in. Life will be somewhat good. The crazy thing is this one actually had the part number on it, and this one does not. So, I don't know. This tractor's 20-some years old now, so if that one made it 20 years, I'm 53, it'd put me at 73 by the time I need a new one, right? And I'll either be out of business or retired by that point or dead. Those are the 3 options, you know? Yeah, retired, out of business, or dead. Because let's face it, farmers check in at 6 and check out at the cemetery. That's just how it is. And I guess it does have the part numbers on it. Yeah, the part numbers are right there. They are engraved. You can barely see them. So maybe when this one fails, which will probably only be about half the life, it'll be that. So anyway, I'm going to go get a wrench, and I think it's a 1/2 inch. And oddly enough, this morning when I walked out of the house, there was a 1/2 inch. It's not. It's 9/16, which is probably not that. It's probably the beautiful 13 millimeter, which, you know, I really hate metric. Nope, it is actually a 15 millimeter, right? 15 millimeter? Well, there's 13, I have plenty of those. 1/2 inch is 13, here's a 14. Oh, 14 millimeter, that's what it is. So this tractor is a mix of metric and standard, and I hate that. But yeah, it fits perfect, 14 millimeter for that. So it's somewhere between a 1/2 inch and a 9/16. 9/16 will work loosely, probably strip off the brass, and but you get the right one, 14 millimeter, and yes, I do have metric wrenches. So anyway, I'm gonna take you under the tractor, and I'm gonna get my gloves on first. And a lot of people ask me, why do you waste your time with those gloves? And you know, they're expensive and everything, and I've said this in the past, it's not that I care if my hands get dirty, because I really don't. I'm not afraid of getting my hands dirty, but this isn't dirt, this is oil, and it's a chemical. And my sister died 11 years ago from cancer from a man-made chemical. At least that is what we felt was partly to blame, was this man-made chemical. But so since then, I wear the gloves to minimize contact with chemicals, whether it is the sprays that I use or the oil lubricants that I use as well. Now let me grab this and I will get under there, and hopefully everybody can see me struggle and put that thing up there. Oh, why is there a 1 inch there, huh? Okay, I'm sniffing like a cokehead. I don't know why, I think there's some kind of pollen in the air. So I'm thinking there's that, and then if I do this, I can see the hole. So I'm gonna stick the camera up in there. You see the filter housing there? And then you see those 2 wires that are there? Well, above that is where this sensor goes. Above that already, the same sensor, there's 2 of them, but that's where it goes. So I don't know if you're gonna be able to see much. I'll probably be able to see it from here better, which I can. You won't be able to see anything. I'm just gonna put it up in there. This is a lot easier than I expected it to be. And I can actually see that miserable, that miserable writing on there. So at least I don't have to put an 1 3/16 socket on that thing, or whatever the heck it was going to be. The nasty thing is, I'll tell you what, it does not fit. Oh Lord, it's gonna make me, oh wait. You know what it's gonna make me do? It's gonna make me do something that I don't wanna do, but I don't care too much because I hate metric already. It's gonna make me freaking break that wrench, cut that wrench. So I turn a 13 millimeter Craftsman wrench into a stubby 13 millimeter or 14 millimeter. I'm gonna get my numbers right because I don't want to piss off the Europeans. You know, Europeans are English and they're like, oh yeah, metric is awesome. It isn't. It's awesome for you guys because you're used to the crap. I'm not used to this crap. I hate it. It loosens up. It doesn't do what it's supposed to do. It just sucks. Anyway, it's gonna make me cut that wrench. You know, because you can't, there's just no room. So, y'all wanna watch me cut a wrench? Do you wanna watch me cut the wrench? Yeah, you do. I'm gonna do it. Let's cut a wrench. We'll use these as a miserable freaking whatever the hell it is. Put you guys here. You can actually watch the gimbals. Ugh. 14mm. Somebody gonna complain? I'm sure somebody's gonna complain. There it is. When I'm done, I'll weld it back together again. How's that sound? Now, somebody will complain like, oh my God, you know they sell those. You know they sell those. They make stubby kits. You don't have to do that. Because that's what I'm going to hear. Guarantee it. I guarantee it. What'll really suck is if I've already done this. I got a couple of them in here. Like, here's one. That's a 3/4 stub. 18mm, that one's cut. I got a 30mm that I cut the end out of, made it so that it would slip over something with wires on it. But yeah, now I can stick that up in there, and hopefully that works. And we'll be all done with our job. Hopefully, maybe, I bet you can't see nothing. And this is kind of hot. So, okay. Let me get that up in there, right? And it doesn't take much, it just takes enough. Oh God. Would I cut it too short? Nah. There it is. Now, I will take this big wrench, this one, and I will pry it up on there. And I'll put this cut wrench in a spot that I never find it again. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Children of all ages, that's how you fix that shit. And then I will plug it in. So I'm thinking that we should be good. Like, there's that wrench. I gotta pull this out enough that I can stick that in there. And I'm gonna have to get a wire tie because is that what I want to do? Or am I backwards? No, that's right. You know, sometimes you just gotta have two hands. And when you don't have enough room, and I can't even see the hell I'm doing here. This goes like so, right? It does. At least it's supposed to go like so. Oh my goodness, come on. Come on. There it is. It's in. Cool. So I got that one. I got this one. What are you doing? Drinking water? No. No? Why not? Oh, shit. I do. Let's climb up the top there and see if it yells at me. You know, before I tidy it all up. Oh, no, I can't do that. I got to put the filter on. Wouldn't that be funny? I'd be like, yeah, well, there's something that ain't the problem. And as all the oil is just draining out onto the ground. Wouldn't that be funny? It'd be worth it. I mean, somebody would say, that's it, I'm unsubscribing.
Oh, what you call this thing?
What is it?
You gotta fix my baler. I got that stopper thing.
Oh, yes. Well, the baler ain't here now, is it? I got to go do that farmland assessment form, so.
I'm going to go to get the baler and grease it.
I'm going to do that farmland assessment form.
You can do that.
Okay, so we've got that up. Let's wipe my hands off. I'm going to take you guys right on up top, and you can watch what I'm doing. I'm probably going to do some fast forwarding through this because it took me 13 minutes to do all that. 13 stinking minutes. Yeah, 13 minutes. Took me 13 minutes. Can you believe that?
Wow.
How's your foot? People are going to wonder.
Still there.
Oh, well, you didn't amputate it yet. Oh, you put your old shoes back on. Because it feels,
Better.
she put new shoes on today. And I was like, oh, that's not smart. That's going to hurt.
Well, it was wet.
Well, yeah, her old shoes were wet. She had a brand new pair. You're probably wondering what that was. Okay, turn the key on. Turn the fan off. Let's do this. And watch the stop sign. Let's make sure we're good. Fixed. I fixed it. All right. Job well done. We're done. The switch fixed it. All right. I guess if you're watching the edited version, it's probably a lot more than what you see on here today. So have a nice day. Hope you enjoyed that fix, and we got plenty of things coming up. We are going to be pulling the case windrower in here, and we're either going to pull the engine or we're going to pull the gearboxes off, because I got a rear main seal leak that's really bad and it needs to be repaired. So stay tuned for those videos.